Bees are dying, and our survival depends on them. That's why 4RBs created the Pure Wave Cell, a breakthrough quantum device proven to help hives thrive, doubling colonies and boosting honey production naturally. Every jar of our Pure Wave honey fuels this mission, supporting beekeepers worldwide. Visit 4RBs.com. That's the number 4RBs.com, and use code WITF for 20% off. Save the bees! Save us all!
Where in the Folk is not and should not be viewed as a news source. Any names, places, or likenesses mentioned are purely fictional, and any information discussed is purely speculative. Guest opinions are their own and do not reflect those of anyone else. Where in the Folk is not responsible for content accuracy of any stories that are told or what people do with these stories. This show is vulgar, sometimes graphic, and due to its content, it should not be viewed by anyone, actually.
Welcome to another episode of Where in the Folk. I hope everybody's had a great day, and welcome to Thursday. And thank you for joining us on another Fringe Theory Friday as we dive into some weird mysteries and some of the biggest conspiracies you may find, and a little bit of monsters and cryptids here and there. So, what's up, Nick? What's up, Landa? What's up, Crystal?
Hey.
I like to see you all here before everybody gets here. I like to see you all before everybody gets here for sure. I'll do whatever I want to, Nick. You got work tomorrow, friend. I'm off. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get started right away with a story. I was going to talk about something else, but I kind of want to cover this first. You've probably heard this one. I'm sure we talked a little bit about it before. But this is a monster that there is actually a photo of. It may be a monster, so let's get right into the story. On October 17th, 1973, in Falkville, Alabama, down there close to you, Stephen, only like a state away, a young police chief named Jeff Greenhall reportedly received a call concerning a UFO outside the town. Greenhall grabbed something extremely important before heading out, a camera. And this decision is why we're still talking about this case more than 50 years later, because Greenhall didn't just claim he encountered something strange. He took a photograph of it. Boom. This was what he photographed. This is the actual picture. It appears to be a humanoid in some kind of metal suit. Well, we'll go right on. Greenhall was only about 26 years old and had become Falkville's police chief earlier that year, and according to his account, an agitated woman reported some kind of object coming down in a field. Greenhall drove out to investigate. He searched the area, but reportedly couldn't find any spacecraft. Well, he's probably like, this woman's crazy. But then he knows something a little strange standing near the road. At first glance, it appeared to be just a dude wearing a silver shirt. But according to Greenhall, its entire body looked metallic. Its surface reflected light intensely, almost like polished metal or mercury. The head and neck seemed to bend together. Greenhall called out to it, but it did not answer. So he yanked out his Polaroid camera and started taking pictures. And several of the photographs shown are a human-shaped figure covered in an intensely reflective, wrinkled-looking material. So, as you can see in this right here. I'll just leave it up for y'all. And you can say the picture looks ridiculous. It looks a little like someone wrapped a human being in some aluminum foil, which will become very important, but Greenhall claimed the encounter wasn't over. According to his account, when he activated the blue lights on his police vehicle, the figure suddenly ran, and Greenhall saw there was something wrong with the way it moved. He described its movement as unusually springy, almost as though it had some sort of mechanical assistance. Greenhall pursued it in his vehicle, And according to later accounts from his testimony, he estimated that he reached about 35 miles an hour while trying to keep up with it. And the thing allegedly outran him at 35 miles an hour. And then this is where the thing disappeared. So let's talk about theories, because there is one massive problem with the encounter. Greenhall was apparently the only identified witness to the actual creature. The anonymous caller who reportedly sent him out there was never publicly established as an independent witness to the entity. So the theory is that this could have been a prank. And there's also another theory that it could have been experimental equipment. Now, remember the period. So in 73, what all was going on? There was the Cold War. So during the Cold War, this is when they were trying to develop all kinds of crazy shit, like Star Wars stuff coming pretty soon in the 80s, experimental military technologies. They were working with protective suits. They were deep into aerospace research. And America was simultaneously experiencing a wave of UFO reports in this time. He puffed and forgot to pass. That's completely possible, Nick. So what if Greenhall encountered a human being wearing something unusual and interpreted it through the UFO atmosphere at the time? But there's also another theory. Greenhall photographed exactly what he claimed to photograph. Something humanoid, something wearing or possessing a highly reflective outer covering, and something capable of moving much faster than Greenhall expected. Something that didn't respond when spoken to, and something that disappeared into rural Alabama after somebody reported a UFO. Now, this is what I really do love about this. What's up, Alan?
Yeah.
What I love about the most is Alan's here. So most what I do love about this one the most is most classic UFO encounters give us a testimony. This one actually gives photographs.
Yeah.
But the thing about this photograph is it doesn't really solve anything. If anything, it makes it a little weirder. Because you can look directly at the alleged creature and still have absolutely no idea what you're looking at. Alien, maybe. Experimental suit, possibly. A dude covered in some aluminum foil who happens to be an Olympic level sprinter. It could be. But who knows?
Actually, a little bit beyond an Olympic level sprinter.
Oh yeah. 35 miles an hour is fast.
Yeah.
I can do 36, but that's just from years of training. But
Yeah, I used to play softball with a guy who he always told us he's the world's fastest man. He can run 35 miles an hour.
But the truth is, somewhere in 1973 Alabama, Chief Greenhall pointed a Polaroid camera into the darkness, and whatever was standing in front of him became one of the strangest phenomenon in UFO history. So really, what do you think it could have been? I mean, skeptics are always going to say that's a dude in a suit, which, I mean, maybe, yeah, it could be. What do you think?
That's a weird ass shape for somebody in a suit.
Right. Yeah. The shoulders are narrow. The eyes are really far apart. That would not fit in with the human size. So honestly, I don't know if y'all seen it or not, but they actually have robots that they're working with and training now for sports competitions.
Did you see the one that ran into the wall?
Yeah.
Yes, disabled itself. So
was it real?
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sent you the video. Video. But
Yeah.
So with this right here, the thing I've always heard for years and years is that the technology that I guess the elites or whoever the others are, their technology is usually about 50 years ahead of what we get. So it kind of makes me wonder, was this an early prototype of something that they're just now really bringing out with the human type robotics or humanoid robotics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's possible.
Mhm.
These new robots are crazy.
Yeah, yeah. The fact that they had to disassemble one on the stage to prove that it wasn't a human a while back let you know just how advanced they are with the robotics nowadays. And what better place than a rural area in Alabama to test an early prototype of a humanoid type robot? And the fact that it can run 35, 36 miles an hour,
Mm-hmm.
that pretty much eliminates any human in that type of a suit.
Oh,
Yeah.
If it was just aluminum foil, it would have torn somewhere and part of it would have fallen off.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. Yep.
and you gotta remember too, like, we've been working with the idea of humanoid robots for a lot longer than people think.
oh yeah.
I know for a fact that there was a guy experimenting with one that looks very similar to what we were showing, in the mid to late 1800s. Now, of course,
Mhm.
it wasn't running 35 miles an hour. It probably didn't
Right.
run at all, but they were attempting it for sure. Like, people
Mhm.
have been fascinated with this forever. Then you got the ones from the Victorian era, like the
Right.
swan, that metal swan that moves its neck and stuff and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot.
Yes.
Like, it works with gears and stuff. So
Yeah.
to think that they would have had something like this by 1973 isn't too far out of the realm of possibility.
No.
Not at all.
No. I mean, whenever you just think back, how long ago the Blackbird was created. What was that? The SR-71. What that was
Yeah.
created in the 50s.
Yeah.
And it took a very long time for anybody to come up with something faster than the
Yeah.
SR-71.
Yeah. That's true. I don't know. But you're right. You're right, Landa. Landa states, I think they're experimenting with us, see how long we will wait. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they don't think we'll. I think they believe we'll wait forever. Which,
Right.
yeah,
Well, are they wrong?
no,
Because
no.
we have to get together in mass before it will matter.
Yeah.
Right. And as long as people are at odds with one another, as long as one group dislikes another group for
Mm-hmm.
whatever various reason,
That's it.
there never will be unity. That's all part of the plan as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, as long as you have somebody else that you can make me hate,
Right.
That's all you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they're good at it. They're very good at it. They have figured it out. See, I would do something like that, Landa. Yep. So, and here's, I read something recently and it made so much sense. And I don't know why I had not thought of it, but, they talk about all the things that, oh, well, that was just imagination. That was just this, that was just that. But when you look back at cave paintings,
Oh yeah.
ancient people reproduced what they saw.
Mhm.
There was no basis for comparison. There was no television. There was no, there were no actors or anything like that. So when you see cave drawings that are clearly other beings, why would you not think that this has been going on throughout humanity?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about it before, but the main 7 races that no longer exist, like the Cephalai, I believe it was, the dog-headed men.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
from India.
cynocephaly.
Cynocephaly. Yeah, I mean, there's all that's one thing that people don't kind of forget. A long time through history that they report that there was human beings that wore clothes,
Mm-hmm.
but they weren't human beings. They had the head of dogs, and
Right.
it even flows into Catholicism. I'm pretty sure, and Saint Christopher was
Right.
was a Saint Cephaly.
Yes. Yes, he was a dog-headed saint. Yeah, well, it's just like the pottery, that they have found in South America. On the handle of one, you can easily recognize the squirrel that somebody put on the pottery. And the next one, you can easily recognize the frog that they put on there. And on the next one, that has absolutely just has to be fake because it's showing a plesiosaur or something like that. That's the fake.
Exactly.
Or okay, the Chinese zodiac.
Yeah.
They have the turtle, the snake, the monkey,
The rat
and the dragon.
and the dragon.
Yeah.
And everybody, oh well, it's mythology. Well, how is it mythology? How? Show me how all these different cultures, and like I say, we've talked about this 100 times, all have depictions of the same creatures. They're not exactly alike, though, which says there were even more than one type, depending on where you were.
What was the
Right.
what's the race that everybody believes expired where the face was the torso?
Oh yeah.
Tully's talked about them a lot.
Yeah. I can't remember what exactly what they're called, but yeah, he's talked about them several times.
That one would freak me out. I'm not gonna lie. I could live with like dog-headed people and like even seeing a reptilian because I fully believe reptilians are real at this point. But seeing a face where the torso is would kind of freak me out. I think that might be too far for me.
Did you ever watch The Fifth Element?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The creatures that were around with the
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's fun.
I love that's like in my top 5 favorite movies. So, and of course
Yeah.
now I
it
can't
is.
remember what the hell they were called.
The Fifth
So,
Element's a good one.
but
We're headed toward a Fifth Element society, I believe. So.
right,
Oh yeah.
yep. You're not wrong. For a day, I'm gonna pick up smoking just so I can get my 4 cigarettes with the filter that's that long.
I've cut back so much on smoking.
Good.
I'm down to like a quarter pack a day.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
not by
awesome.
choice. But not by choice, but I'm getting there. So
Yeah. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, and we
I've got
expect you to be around for another 40 years.
I've got 2 waiting on me.
All right, I got, and this one isn't. It's just, okay. I guess it is weird to a lot of people, and most of this, I don't know if you'll know a lot of it, Cecil. But I'll bet you money Stephen knows every one of them. The things that were normal when we were kids. Riding in the back of pickup trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you were really brave, you'd sit up on the side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Lawn darts.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yep.
Smoking sections in hospitals.
Yeah, I remember them.
Smoking sections at the hospital.
Uh-huh.
I remember you could smoke walking around in like grocery
mall.
stores and Walmart and everywhere. Yeah.
Mhm.
McDonald's.
Yep. Cigarette vending machines.
I remember them.
Yes.
Metal playground equipment that would brand you.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it would. Those long slides were
Oh yeah.
the long metal slides. They would get so hot.
Mercury thermometers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I used to like to crack those open and suck that juice out of them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Now I'm gonna tell you what though, if you ever had one that broke, just being able to play with that,
Yeah.
because it balled up and rolled around. Ashtrays in cars.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I still got a car with an ashtray in it.
Well, I don't, but used to they would give you one of the disposable ones, the removable ones, but they don't even do that now.
Yeah.
Glass clackers.
Yeah.
And because I know a lot of people talk about, acrylic. Yeah, they had them in acrylic, but originally they were in glass. Cars without seatbelts.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen them, but
Yep.
by the time I was around, seatbelts were coming in most cars. But
Yeah.
we had a car that didn't have any installed.
Mm-hmm. TV
Yeah.
station signing off at midnight.
I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Party lines on telephones.
I don't remember.
Yes.
I never got to experience that.
My grandmother had one. We never did, but my grandmother did. And then encyclopedia salesman coming to your house.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or Bible salesman. I remember my father having a knockdown drag out with a Bible salesman one time because he was selling the New World Bible.
Oh, yeah.
And my father informed him that was not a real Bible because it was not a King James version. And
Yeah.
I mean, they sat there for 30 minutes arguing about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I think that's one thing. Yeah.
I remember
But
most
that's
of that
one
stuff.
thing. It's becoming more acceptable for people to use different versions of the Bible now.
Mhm.
ESV, NIV, things like that.
when I was growing up, it was literally either the Catholic Bible or the everybody else's Bible.
Yeah.
I mean, those were your two options. I mean, I remember having a children's Bible. I remember it being given to me in like first grade.
Yeah.
I was like 6 or 7 years old, and Jesus was blonde-headed and blue-eyed in all the pictures. Yeah, I do remember that.
I remember that.
I wish I
had a-
still had that because
had
you
a-
don't see those much anymore.
I had a strange
Blonde
preacher.
hair.
I had a strange preacher when I was a kid and went to church. They never played into that.
Mhm.
They was always like, well, they's from the Middle East. I doubt they were white with blue
Yeah.
eyes and blonde hair.
Yeah.
but,
Oh, yeah.
but no, everything you was talking about, I remember except for the party lines. I know about party lines. I just
Right.
never got to experience that. I'm not as young as I look.
I could
was-
still theoretically be your as a matter of fact, you just turned 40.
Yeah.
My daughter turns 40 in October.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
it was no insult intended.
I know. No, I mean, I think most of that stuff started going away when technology started getting better, like internet mainly.
Mm-hmm.
When people could be outraged about everything.
Yeah.
Like, kids shouldn't ride in the back of trucks.
Mm-hmm.
How else are we going to ride when there's 7 people that need to go somewhere and there's a single cab truck?
That's right. Well, when we used to go on road trips, I think I've told y'all this. My grandmother moved every other year between Arkansas and Mississippi. So that was our vacation, was going to visit grandma, on the
Yeah.
years that she lived in Arkansas. And Daddy had a full-size Ford pickup truck that he put a camper on, put a twin-size mattress in the back, and that's how we rode. And that he didn't have the little sliding glass window so you could bother him every 2 minutes either. He, you had to bang on that window and hope he chose not to ignore you
Nice.
when you wanted to stop or whatever, because he had specific places he planned on stopping, and it was generally going to be Lake Village, Arkansas, and that was it. We weren't stopping again until we got to grandma's. So,
Yeah.
but it was actually a really good way to travel because when you got tired, you laid down, and you went to sleep.
I
Yep.
do remember like road trips like that taking so much longer back then.
Mhm.
Like when we lived in Florida, we'd come up here to Kentucky to visit grandma and stuff like that. And man, it felt like it took a week back then. But now, it feels like it takes 12 hours.
Exactly. But I did learn the value of doing road trips at night when you have kids.
Really? I have
Yes.
to do that when I've got a Mandy. Like,
Look, after my dad passed away, my brother's families and our family decided that we were going to go to the Smoky Mountains for a week, just, as a family.
Yeah.
And so we rented a chalet, and went up. Well, we decided that we were going to drive at night because between us, we had 6 kids. 2, 4, 6, 7 kids. So we had two vans, and somehow both of my brothers, their spouses, my 16-year-old and their baby made it into one van, and Mo and I had the other 5 kids.
Nice.
Ooh.
And I'm like, how? Look, okay, my youngest brother and his wife argued the entire way. My daughter, the more tired she gets, the more she chattered as a teenager. And the baby cried all the way up. Our 5 went to sleep 10 miles out of town.
Nice.
Look, we got ready to come back, and my brother's like, we're swapping people. We're like, oh, hell no, we're not. Y'all made that choice. Now you're going to live with it.
I love
Yep.
the teleport. Very rarely does Mandy want to drive on extended trips, but when she does, I love that teleport effect. Like when we pull out of this driveway, I lean the seat back, and next time I lean it up, we're there. It's awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of driving when we're on road trips because Mo has control issues.
I was proud of her. Last time we went to one of the last times we went to Michigan. Now keep in mind where we go 6.5 hours away from where we live. That's exactly what happened. She's like, I'll drive for a little bit. And because it was early in the morning, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, all right. So we left here, and I leaned back, and when I woke up, we was crossing the state line into Michigan. I was like, nice, nice.
I have a problem going to sleep because I don't know. I think it's a mental thing with me. If I know that I'm going to be doing that, you know, you can prepare your mind to drive all night after you've been up all day.
Yeah.
And even if somebody else wants to drive, I still can't sleep because I've already worked on myself mentally. That's I don't know.
Now when we drove down Morgan's Way last year, I drove, let's see, probably 30 hours, and Mandy got about an hour in. And that was because I was sitting there doing this. Like falling out.
Yeah, no, like I said, Mo does. He that, or you know, when he does let me drive, he's got to give instruction, and that just ticks me off. You know, either sit over there and shut up or drive. Those are your 2 options.
That's the reason I go to sleep, because I don't want to do that to her.
There you go. See, but he won't go to sleep either. He's like Stephen. It's like I said, it's in his mind. If he goes to sleep, you know, it's So,
but
anyway, you know,
I think probably one of the worst ones. We went to New Mexico, and I'd psyched myself out, you know, to be ready to drive, and my wife insisted on driving, so she drove. Then, of course, by the time we get to we're going through Dallas. I mean, we've got a full moon, and once you get through Dallas, I mean, there's nothing out there, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's wow. It might have, it was day. It's still daylight to me with the moon as bright as it was that night.
Nice.
So, and then when it did get daylight, well, there was no going to sleep again then. So
yeah. No, that's for years and years I slept for about an hour and a half a night. And that's a true statement. And Mo at the time was driving stuff from here to Jacksonville and back, like just back to back to back. And he's like, why don't you ride with me? He says, you don't sleep anyway. He goes, and I'm tired, and maybe you can help keep me awake. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. Look, we weren't out of the state good, and I fell asleep. And he's like, get in the sleeper. I'm like, no, I got to keep you awake. He goes, no. You're going to fall out of the seat if you don't get back there in the sleeper. I slept all the way to Jacksonville and back twice. And I'm like, I guess my body just finally said, okay, it's time.
Yeah.
He goes, a lot of good you did helping me stay awake. Come on, I'm so sorry.
I've gotten to that point now where if I drive, and this might be part of the sleep apnea thing or whatever, there will be a point that I'll hit a wall and I'll just start passing out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I gotta pull over and either take a nap or she has to drive for a little bit. But if I do 30 minutes, I wake up and I'm good for another hour or two. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know. It's like hitting a wall. It's weird. But
Yeah.
you want to do another one, or you want me to do this really long one?
Okay, I got one. It's this one isn't super long because I pared it down. But so back in the early 1900s, radium was the hottest new discovery in science because it glowed in the dark. It seemed to produce endless energy, and many people believed that it almost had magical healing powers. So companies started adding radioactive material to everything from toothpaste and face creams to drinking water and health tonics. But nowhere was this fascination with radium more tragic than in the factories where young women painted glowing watch dials. And history remembers them as the Radium Girls. So, beginning around 1917, companies like the United States Radium Corporation hired hundreds of young women to paint luminous numbers on military watches and instrument dials. It was considered an excellent job. The pay was good, the work was clean, and compared to factory labor at the time, it seemed really safe. So, to keep these tiny paintbrushes sharp enough to create the numbers, supervisors taught the women a technique called lip dip paint. They would place the brush between their lips to form a fine point, dip it into the glowing radium paint, and then paint another number, and then repeat that process hundreds of times every day, all day. And so every time they did it, they were swallowing a tiny amount of radium. And it was really heartbreaking in that the women were told the paint was harmless. In fact, many of them had so much fun with it that they would paint their fingernails, their teeth, their dresses, and even their faces before they'd go out dancing for the night. They literally glowed under the lights and thought it was fashionable. But meanwhile, chemists and managers working with the same materials wore lead aprons, gloves, and protective masks because they already knew that radium could be dangerous. So years later, the women began developing mysterious illnesses. Their teeth started loosening and falling out. Their jaws began to decay, sometimes crumbling away in pieces. Condition doctors would later call radium jaw. They suffered severe anemia, spontaneous bone fractures, chronic pain, and aggressive cancers. And because radium behaves chemically much like calcium, the body stores it in your bones where it continues emitting radiation for the rest of their lives. So the companies initially denied responsibility, claiming that the women suffered from everything from poor dental hygiene to sexually transmitted diseases. Some doctors repeated those claims, further damaging the women's reputations. But then a handful of courageous workers refused to stay silent. And despite being gravely ill, they sued their employers, becoming some of the first workers in American history to successfully hold a corporation accountable for occupational hazards. So those victories actually changed workplace safety in companies forever. So they helped establish the workers' rights to sue for industrial disease. They strengthened regulations surrounding toxic substances and laid the groundwork for modern occupational safety standards. And their sacrifice also transformed how scientists understood the long-term effects of radium exposure. But probably the most taunting part of this is that more than a century later, the remains of many of these people are still radioactive. Because radium has a half-life of about 1,600 years, meaning that their bones will continue to emit measurable radiation for generations. So, they went to work believing they had found a respectable job with a bright future, but instead, they ended up suffering from the very thing that they thought was making their lives better.
Yeah, I've heard about that. You want to hear something strange? This week on Facebook Marketplace, I don't know if it's real, but it seemed like a real post. They were selling an authentic radium lamp.
Really?
As a glass lamp that glow green at night.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, "There's no way." And I was even reading the description, and it's like safe, like and all this stuff. I was like, no way. I wonder if I can find that again. It's like it's a fucking.
So, I don't know. I haven't done the research. I know, like for thermometers, mercury was considered safe as long as it was contained inside the glass.
Right.
What was radium at any point? Was there anything that, like I said, because you had to wear lead? I mean, you used to have to wear a lead jacket to get an X-ray done.
Right. You still do, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they do X-rays, I mean, the technicians are usually protected in some way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, so like I said, so yeah, I guess not, because that's what I was thinking, that maybe, I know Tully was talking about on some of the old original lava lamps that stuff inside of them would be poisonous after so many decades.
Yeah.
But as long as it was still contained in the glass, it can't, it won't hurt you.
What's really fun about X-rays too is, shoe stores used to have X-rays in them so that they could X-ray people's feet to buy shoes and shit. Yeah, that was when X-ray became a big thing. That was like a thing they used to do in shoe stores. Like they'd X-ray your feet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, kids loved it.
Oh my God. And I don't know what made me think of this, but I saw it this week. Have you ever seen images of a fetus that has been pictured under an MRI?
No. Oh wait, yeah, they look like demons.
Yes. Oh my gosh, because they're like, there's a reason that pregnant women do not have MRIs, because they're actually, an MRI is a better imaging construct than an ultrasound. But then they showed pictures. Oh my God. Stephen, have you seen them?
I haven't seen that.
You got to pull something up.
Let's see.
It is crazy.
All right, a fetus. That's a good name. That's a good name for a band. MRI, a fetus. Fetus MRI. Let's see. I'm trying to find the creepiest one.
Yes. I
There's
mean,
a couple.
the 4D sonograms creep me out, but then I saw this and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of the 4D sonograms, but
those are,
I haven't seen an MRI.
oh yeah, it's
Right here, if I can get to present, that's one right there.
Whoa.
that is crazy. It
Cool
looks like little like the little zombie babies.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
ooh.
You put the little slit on them, and they look like little demons.
Yes, they do.
There we go.
Yeah, that's wow.
It does look. It looks wild.
Look at
Yeah.
look at the cranium plates. Wow, that's just.
Mhm.
Oh,
But said,
that's
like I
wild.
said, for imaging, it shows things that an ultrasound simply cannot show. But that there was a reason that they opted to not use those for expectant mothers.
Oh yeah, mom would be scared to death.
Yeah, I've seen Rosemary's Baby.
I mean, if you think about it, we all come into this world as a parasite, so it does fit the narrative of that. So.
Hey, Ronnie.
Hey, Ron.
Well, you're kind of welcome here. Whoop whoop.
That's right.
I hope you're good, Ronnie. But yeah, I mean, that was, I don't know. Every time I have an MRI, I'm terrified that they're going to find something crazy in me. You don't know why. It's strange.
Okay, I think I've had every imaging type that's humanly possible, and
I like to see all the fecal matter in my intestines. I feel like I got I feel like I got that John Wayne going on at this point. I'm 40 now. Yeah.
Another
I bet
10 years.
how much fecal matter did John Wayne die with in his intestines? How
I
much
don't know the answer to that.
did
How about Elvis?
Did not know that was even a thing.
die with? It's supposedly like a lot. The claim is they had 40 pounds of impacted feces.
Is that what killed him?
No.
No, he died from cancer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and you know,
maybe it's a byproduct of cancer.
that actually plays into the radium thing because they say that he got his cancer because they filmed a movie where he played a Native American of all things, and in the deserts where they set off nuclear bombs and stuff. And a lot of people.
Was that or was it in the movie The Searchers?
It might have been the
Because-
soldiers.
Searchers.
Searchers.
Yeah, I think there were several people that wound up getting sick on that movie set. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was I don't know if that was testing grounds or what it was exactly, but yeah, there were a lot of people who had that. And I think Elvis, did they ever say with Elvis? I mean, he actually died in the bathroom, didn't he?
He died on the toilet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elvis was a complicated situation. I imagine all the drugs he was doing compared with his weight gain. He probably had really high blood pressure. And come to
Right.
find out, that's one of the things to be terrified when you have blood pressure of going to the restroom to do a number two has really developed me because of how much I've read into it. Because they say a lot of people, that's where they have their heart attacks when they have high blood pressure.
I have a friend. That's a
Yeah.
true story.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, that's how Elvis passed, though. I think it was cardiac arrest from being on the toilet, but you also got to factor in he's probably doing a lot of drugs and all that good jazz and stuff
Right.
like that.
Yeah, with what Crystal said there, it's
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Yeah.
that is a true statement.
Yeah. But anyway. This one's long. I apologize in advance, but I think that's very, very interesting. 40 pounds does seem like a lot, but I think I'm holding about 60. And if I can figure out how to get them out, I should be a skinnier man.
And this is
I told
strange
you before.
frequencies.
I told you before, Cecil, you go out to the pantry and cut about a 1 inch by 1 inch square of the cambium, which is in between the bark and the tree. Boil that in some water, then you drink it.
What I've been doing is eating lettuce with jalapenos and hoping for the best.
I was going to say, now that'll do it right there, too.
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
say that parasites on jalapenos and lettuce, so I'm like, I hope I get that. Clean me out a little bit. But anyway, let's get on to this. So this story might be one of the strangest encounters that we've ever covered, and I want to make something very clear before we start. This isn't a story where somebody saw a weird shape in the distance for 5 seconds. According to the account, 2 7-year-old children spent roughly a half hour interacting with this thing. They watched it, they followed it, they talked to it, they asked it what it was, and apparently they went inside its house. So this happened on the Isle of Wight, England in May of 1973. Again, 1973. A 7-year-old girl, later given the pseudonym of Faye, and a boy around the same age were playing near Lake Common in a marshy area between Shanklin and Sandown golf links and the local airport. And it was around 4 o'clock in the afternoon when the children heard something strange. It was loud. It was very eerie. It sounded, they compared it to like an ambulance siren. So naturally, because apparently children in 1973 have absolutely no survival instinct whatsoever, they followed it. I would have in the 90s. Would you not? I want to see what's happening. And so they crossed the golf course and headed toward the marsh, and eventually the sound stopped. But the children, kept looking for the source until they reached a small wooden footbridge crossing a small stream. And that's when a blue gloved hand appeared from underneath the bridge. Not a normal hand either. The children were later described the figure as having only 3 fingers. And then, after this hand reached out, the rest of it climbed out. And this is where I want you to actually picture what these kids saw. The figure stood nearly 7 feet tall. Its head appeared to sit directly on its shoulders, no visible neck. On its head was a tall, pointed yellow hat, topped with a round black knob. Sticking from either side were objects that the children described resembling wooden antennas. Its face was paper white, and instead of normal looking eyes, there were triangle markings. Its nose appeared to be flat, brown square. Its lips were yellow and essentially motionless. Round markings decorated its pale cheeks, with a fringe of reddish hair shown beneath the hat. The clothing wasn't any less bizarre. Don't get confused now. It wore a tattered green tunic with a large red collar, white trousers, and blue gloves. And protruding from its clothing were things that the children described as looking like wooden slates. And right here's what AI came up with for it. That's the best rendition that I've found of it, because there's so much detailed description of this thing that this is pretty accurate to what it looked like. It looked like a clown. Even this movement seemed wrong at the time. You know what I mean? Like, the creature was carrying a book when it emerged from underneath the bridge, so it was just chilling under his footbridge reading. But it fumbled around with it and then dropped the damn thing into the water. The children watched this enormous, bizarre creature splash around trying to retrieve its book, and eventually it did get it back. Then it moved away using what Faye described as a strange hopping, high-kneed motion, and the children watched it enter a little metal hut. And so the hut that they're talking about, do you know those little trailers that sit on construction sites?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what they said it looked like, except this one didn't have any windows. So at this point, the kids were about 50 yards away. So the creature had went inside the hut, then it came back out. Now this time it was carrying something that resembled a microphone. It had black knobs and a white cord attached to it as well. And suddenly the horrible wailing noise started again, except this time it was extremely loud. And scared to death, the boy with some common sense took off running. But the noise abruptly stopped, and they heard a friendly voice say, "Hi, are you still there?" And here's an incredibly strange detail. The children were dozens of yards away, but Faye said the voice sounded as though whoever was speaking was standing right beside them, not shouting from across the marsh, not obviously amplified from the hut, almost like, side by side. The voice sounded friendly enough that the children stopped running and they went back. And as they approached, the creature took out a little notebook. It began writing words in large letters, except the words weren't arranged normally on the page. So the creature pointed to them individually in order, and Faye was supposed to read them as it pointed to each letter. And the message said, "Hello, I am All Colors Sam." So it goes by All Colors Sam. And after the children discovered Sam apparently didn't need the microphone to communicate, but when he spoke, his lips didn't move. Faye described his speech as unclear, almost like somebody trying to speak without properly opening their mouth, like I do a lot of times. And now the two 7-year-olds basically started interviewing this 7-foot tall wooden alien clown that they had just discovered living under a bridge. And they asked about his clothes. Why were they so ripped and tattered? Sam reportedly told them that it was because he only had one set of clothes. Then came the obvious question. With his paper white face, triangle eyes, wooden looking limbs, and 3-fingered hands, was he actually a man? The children asked, and his answer was essentially no. So the children tried another possibility. Was he some kind of ghost? And Sam reportedly responded, well, not really, but I am in an odd sort of way. Excuse me, the children said. What does that mean, Sam? They apparently tried getting him to explain what he actually meant. His answer basically was, you know. And so, no, Sam, of course we don't know. What the hell are you talking about, is what I would say, right? He did reportedly tell them something else, though. He said there were others like him, and that apparently Sam had another camp somewhere on the mainland. Then things somehow became even stranger, because Sam apparently showed the children how he ate. His food supposedly consisted primarily of berries, but Sam didn't simply put a berry in his mouth. According to Faye, he would first place the berry near or inside his ear, then he would tilt or thrust his head forward, and somehow the berry would disappear in his ear and reappear near one of the triangle eyes. He repeated this process until eventually the berry reached his mouth. At some point during this encounter, the children reportedly allowed to see inside of his hut. He invited them in. So you would think that this strange creature, the inside, would look like a spaceship, because at this point you would think it's an alien, right? This has to be some kind of weird ass alien. But when they went in, there wasn't any cryogenic chambers or alien bodies. It was disappointingly ordinary. They described simple wooden furniture, a heater, and various dials or equipment, on the walls. But for the most part, it was just like anybody else's living room. And Sam apparently told him that he had built the hut himself. But here's the detail that makes the story particularly strange. According to the Fae, there were 2 workmen nearby repairing a post while some of this was happening, but they paid absolutely no attention to the enormously brightly colored creature interacting with 2 children. And they behaved as though they couldn't even see it. So the kids stayed with Sam for about 30 minutes while he told them stories, or, I'm with this village and things like that. But then after that, they just left. And apparently Sam simply just let them go. He didn't try to abduct them, didn't threaten them, didn't chase them through the woods, nothing. The children went back across the golf course. And the first adult they encountered reportedly got an incredible announcement. They had seen a ghost. They still thought it was a ghost. He didn't believe him, of course. And this is where we need to separate story from legend. The encounter supposedly happened in May 1973, but the detailed account most people know today wasn't published until 78, when investigator Norman Oliver wrote about it in a journal of the British UFO Research Association. And Faye's father reportedly learned about the encounter weeks later of it happening and questioned both children. And by his account, Faye became extremely upset when he suggested that she was lying. Why would an adult build an enormous, bizarre costume with triangle eyes, 3-finger gloves, and wooden-looking limbs, hide beneath a bridge, live in a metal hut, and spend half an hour entertaining 2 children? That leads me to theories. There may be a paranormal interpretation. Some people think Sam sounds less like extraterrestrial and something more like from old European folklore. So think about stories of fairies and strange woodland beings. They appear in isolated places. They interact with children. Their behavior follows rules that don't quite make sense, and they're neither completely physically nor completely supernatural. And when the children asked Sam if he was a ghost, he didn't simply say no. He said, "Not really, but I am in an odd sort of way." Then there's my favorite thing about it. Maybe Sam's bizarre appearance wasn't his actual appearance at all. Maybe it was a constructed design. Look at what the children described: wooden-looking limbs, artificial geometric facial features, a face that didn't move when it talked, 3 fingers, bizarre costume, and a voice that didn't seem to originate normally from its body. What if it was a non-human attempting to construct a humanoid appearance? Something to look safe, friendly, colorful, almost childlike. But whatever created the disguise didn't completely understand what a human being was or supposed to look like. And that's how you end up with all color Sam. if the children's account was genuine, maybe they didn't encounter a monster at all. Maybe they encountered something just as confused about them as they was about it. So, what do you think? It was a ghost, alien, some ancient folklore phenomenon wearing a modern face, or something that didn't fit comfortably in any category? Because maybe the strangest thing Sam allegedly told the children wasn't that he was quite a man, or wasn't a man, or that he wasn't a ghost in an odd sort of way. But maybe it was that there were others just like him. You know what I mean? So what do you think about that story? That one right there has always stood out to me as a pretty creepy one. Interesting fact too, on ABC, I think this week or last week, and it was the first time that anybody's brought this back up and they're investigating it again after 50 years. So, what do y'all think about that?
Hang on.
They
one
didn't
second.
stop and eat. They didn't eat mushrooms that they found in a cow pile early that morning.
I don't think so. 7-year-olds, they might have. This is one I've talked about before, but we never went into detail about it because I couldn't find the original source, and I finally found it. I found it in one of my books. I was like, yes. And then I started looking it up on the internet, see if I could find a picture of it before I got AI to do it, and it was no shit on ABC like last week or the week before. I was like, what the hell?
Really?
Nobody knows about this.
What you were saying there at the end about, maybe it did not understand, humans enough to, back years ago, probably 15 years ago, Katy Perry had a song called E.T., and the video on that, it's about an alien, basically. And it kept morphing through all of these different beings as it adjusted to what it thought humans should look like. And that's what it made me think about, was just like I said, it had a little bit of information. So at one point it looked almost like a satyr. It was like from the waist down, it was a goat, and then a man from the waist up and everything.
Yeah,
But-
One theory.
that right there is an interesting thought. I mean, was that the costume that was going to conceal what it actually was, even though it was trying to make contact and be friendly? Which obviously, if it was nearly 7 feet tall, it had to be fairly friendly, or the children would not have survived the encounter.
Yep.
Now, there is one, Stephen, you may know about this one or you may not. This is kind of a fringe theory about what I think it might have been. Apparently, Nephilim resemble clowns. I think this thing might be a Nephilim.
Yeah, and that could be as well. I mean, some of the stories that I've heard of what people have reported their voices sounded like, it was not a deep voice; it was more of a high pitched type voice. It was really surprising to people because they were not expecting that type of voice from those who claim to have encountered a Nephilim.
Exactly, and they carried the appearance of clowns, supposedly, like not your clown you're going to see at a circus, of course. They had the pale face, the painted features in a way. So this story right here, where it originated in the 70s, and this is before the Nephilim clown face theory came out. I'm pretty sure it may have always been around because of the way people described it, but people just now put it together. It really sounds like that to me because the thing stood nearly 7 feet tall, so it was huge. It could have been like a baby, Who knows?
Well, and as far as like the voice, the mouth not moving and everything, that could very easily be telepathic. And children would not know how to describe that, besides, the voice didn't sound like it was coming from them and the mouth didn't move. That would be, to me, what telepathy to a kid would be described like.
Yeah, and that would make sense too. Yeah, it really would.
That's one of my favorites, though. I've always liked that one. And it's not one that you hear often either.
I was going to say, I had never heard of that one.
It's a one hit. It's something that was seen once, and there hasn't been another story quite like it. until you get into the Nephilim clown theory, and then it kind of blows up a little bit, But they wasn't quite like this one. This one was more mechanical in its movements and things, The Nephilim wasn't. So, but the voice totally.
Yeah, with that right there, I mean, that the mechanical seeming part of it, that could have been just part of the disguise,
Yeah.
And you also got to think too, like there's shapeshifters and things like that. And over in Europe, they had some of the most ancient folklore around in that area. And folklore usually stems from some form of truth. Like it could have been like a form of a skinwalker or something. You know what I mean? Like something like their comparison of it, because there's the tales of our modern skinwalkers are they move eerily, like different. So who knows?
Yep. Oh yeah.
That was the long one I had. I got some more. I've got some more, but I'll leave them in the chamber.
Yeah, that's a good one. No doubt. Yeah. That's very interesting, right there. The kids would have had they were telling the same story.
Oh yeah.
So unless these kids were better than adults at developing a lie and sticking to all the facts that they made up, I'd say there has to be truth in it.
And that's the thing, when it comes to lying, you really need an excellent memory so that you know exactly what you've said and who you've said it to and everything. And that's something that I'm not going to say that there aren't kids who aren't good at it, but as a general rule, most kids, like I said, they're going to slip up, especially when you've got more than one involved.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that was the thing that got the Watergate folks in trouble, is they all couldn't keep the same lie together. They fell apart within 2 weeks.
Yeah. So. We my brother had a friend that had a little sister that we were talking one day. Her mom owned our local bar, and the bartender was like, that's the thing about her. I've tried to explain to her that, if you're gonna lie to people, you really need a good memory. And man, her memory's just atrocious. So you're saying she lies is what you're saying, huh? He goes, oh yes, absolutely. If her mouth is open, she's probably lying to you.
Hasn't been vaccinated for that one yet, huh?
No. There you go. There you go.
I like to think when I was a kid, I was extremely good at lying. I practiced it. I wrote stuff out. Like,
here's the thing. I could be good at it, but I had an exceptional father in the sense that if you looked him in the eye and lied to him, he knew it immediately. But if you wouldn't look him in the eye, he also knew you were lying to him. So there was no winning in that situation.
Looking people in the eye has gotten to me at an older age, though. Like, used to, I could look you dead in the eye and tell you anything, but now I can't even look. Like, I have a hard time making eye contact anymore. It's weird. Like,
because a person's soul is in their eyes, and there's some soulless people in this world, Cecil.
I agree with you.
I've noticed that. I've had problems with that in recent years. That was the thing I was always told. All the teachers or coach or whoever, they were talking to you. You look me in the eye. That's the thing that's drilled into your head. You look me in the eye when we're having this conversation. You don't look away. So.
Crystal, that is a very good point.
Yeah, we don't socialize face to face anymore, and it makes it awkward. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. I couldn't do sales anymore. I don't think. I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, I was never good at sales either, because that was the other thing. Like I said, we'd get in trouble if we did wrong, but if you lied to Daddy, it didn't matter what your punishment may have been, you just exacerbated it. Because if you told him the truth, you might get fussed at, and that's going to be the end of it. If you lied to him, you were in more trouble for that than for what you'd actually done wrong.
I was practicing for when I had to talk to cops.
Oh yeah, no. Like I said, and that is a huge pet peeve of mine too. Is do not look at me and lie. If you don't want to tell me something, that's fine. Don't tell me, but don't lie to me because. I got punished for that. So now it's a thing. That's why I hate politicians.
It worked for me as a teenager when I was a heathen. If I get pulled over, the like, is there any drugs in these cars? No.
See, that's
No,
not
sir.
lying. That's survival. Cecil.
Can we
That's
search
survival.
it? Absolutely not. I'm only 16, sir. I am a minor.
I used to go walk into any liquor store in town and buy liquor when I was 18, 19 years old. And the only reason being, I worked at my sister-in-law's restaurant and I served beer. So people assumed because I was serving beer that I was old enough to buy it. So if a cop pulled me over, okay, just be safe. You don't have an open container, do you? Nope, it's closed. Okay, well, you have a good night. And then I had my 21st birthday, and people were like, what do you mean your 21st birthday?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's my 21st birthday. And they're like, you're not 21. Nope. Nope. Sorry.
Haven't been in years.
No. It was great.
We used to travel out of town before our county went wet to get booze when we was teenagers, and we found the one place that never carded. But when I was a teenager, like doing that, I looked like this. You know what I mean? I look very much exactly the same. It was weird.
Though, I didn't drink or do anything like that. I'm just using these as anecdotes.
No, I did. I totally did. I don't anymore. I've gave it up, but I did all kinds of things. I wouldn't suggest doing it if you're a kid listening.
No.
I never had any fun.
No. But hey, like I said, I was also married at 15, so we all have our stupid times. But anyway, so how about if you had walked into the home of a wealthy Victorian family in the mid 1800s, you would have been dazzled by the brilliant greens covering the wall. There were rich emeralds and forest green wallpaper that were really fashionable at the time, but the majority of them were colored with arsenic.
Nice.
Yeah. So, back then, nobody really understood the long-term dangers, and the manufacturers prized arsenic-based pigments because they were inexpensive, they were vibrant, and they were resistant to fading. So most of the famous colors became really popular in wallpaper and fabrics and artificial flowers, toys, and clothing. But, everybody knows now that arsenic is highly toxic. So as the wallpaper would age, tiny particles would flake off into the air where they could be inhaled or they'd settle on food and household surfaces. And then in damp conditions, mold growing on the wallpaper could even convert the arsenic into poisonous gases, exposing families without them ever realizing it. So the people living in these beautifully decorated homes often suffered from persistent headaches, nausea, chronic coughing, skin irritation, fatigue, and other mysterious illnesses that doctors struggle to explain. So at first, manufacturers completely denied that the wallpaper could be dangerous, insisting there was no proof that the products caused illness. But then as more physicians documented the cases, scientists began to study the effects of arsenic exposure, and then public opinion started shifting. So by the late 1800s, many countries began moving away from arsenic-based pigments in homes to replace them with safer alternatives like lead. So today, arsenic wallpaper serves as a perfect reminder that beautiful doesn't always mean safe, because the very thing that people believed made their homes more elegant was, in some cases, slowly poisoning the families that were living inside of them.
Nice.
So, yeah.
There's a theory about the lead paint.
Yeah.
That it actually wasn't bad for it. Now, this is a theory.
Uh-huh.
that wasn't actually bad for you, but they seen the technology that they had
Mhm.
and realized that lead paint expelled it, and they couldn't break through like walls and stuff to get what they needed.
So it acted as like insulation.
Like a barrier for like waves and things like
Hmm.
that. That we obviously know now they're kept picking up on. They're picking up on. I don't care what anybody says. They're picking up on mind waves, one hundred
Hmm.
percent somehow,
Mhm.
and it's for advertisement. Is what kills me the most. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
like that's what seems to be the biggest thing. And you can weigh it down to like, oh, you just scroll so much on the social media or this or that, that eventually it knows so much about you. Eventually, it's going to pick up on something you've been thinking about, no matter how risque it is. I don't scroll on social media like I used to, and
Hmm.
like the few minutes a day I do, it always picks up on something I was thinking about, and that trips me out.
Hmm.
Like to no end. It's nuts. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. And it's absolutely amazing how many times I go to Google something and type in one letter and it pops up exactly what I was fixing to type. And I'm not talking about something simple like what we talk about and everything. I mean, thermonuclear physics. You know,
Yeah.
I type a T and that pops up and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yes, arsenic did make nice colors, Crystal.
I 100% think it is the Matrix, Crystal.
Mhm.
And my nephew's getting to age to where one day I might be able to pull him on soon to where he can tell the story to where me and him together believe that we had a strange ass glitch in the Matrix. To the point where when it ended and we came out on the other side, I was like, nobody's gonna believe us about this. He's like, I know. And he was only about 8 or 9 years old. It was a very strange situation. And
Yeah.
still,
No
I can't
doubt.
replicate it. We even as he's gotten older, we tried to replicate it and could not
He,
couldn't even
he
I,
find
still
the
remembers.
entrance. Yeah, he
That's
remembers
what.
it. Yeah, he remembers it 100%, and like it was so strange. I'll tell it real quick.
mhm.
Yeah.
So I picked him up. I've probably told it before, but I picked him up one day and we went to Somerset, which is down the road, and we just riding around, like just out cruising. And I said, "You want to go down this road?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I don't think I've ever been down this road." So we turn left and go down the road. Now, keep in mind, I travel this road a lot. Like from where I live to Somerset's really no distance. I'd rather go there than Corbin. Um, and so we drive down this road for a while, and we get to a spot in the road where you can go left or you can go right. So we go right, and we drive down this road for really not long at all, and we come out at the exact same place we entered. Now the strange thing is, there's no break in the road. It's just like we had turned around and went back the same way we came, except it was a shorter distance. So we drove down this road for like, it felt like 4 or 5 miles, took a right, and drove for maybe a mile or two, and came out at the exact point where we entered, like on the exact same road. And I stopped and I looked around and I was like, and it was very noticeable because when we first went in, there was a house here with overgrown grass and a barn with overgrown grass. And I looked around and I was like, this is the same way we came in. He's like, yeah. He's like, that's that house. I was like, how did that happen? He's like, I don't know. and so I was just like, whatever. That nobody's gonna believe us that happened. So we turned left and we drove on to Somerset. And after this, the road that we went to, the house and the barn, I can't find anymore. It's not there. So I don't know.
Slip dimensions.
It is weird. It is weird.
Mhm.
It was insane. It was
That is an
crazy.
odd one. Yeah.
And now a year or two later, I found out that Somerset sits on, I think, the 33rd, and it has one of the highest gravitational pulls in the world in Somerset.
Ah, so the
And
gravity.
Yeah, and it also has what they assume is large deposits of, I think, crystal, some kind of crystal material under it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. There's actually a episode of, shit, what's it called? I forget the name of it. It's a documentary type show, but they went to Somerset. They even went to the Paranormal Museum I used to go to over there, and they talk about it a lot about weird stuff happening like that. But it was weird. It was strange. And he was a young kid. I'm gonna go pick him up tomorrow and see if he still remembers it. Good luck, Crystal, because I travel that road all the time, and it was one of the ones that I never went down. And I was like, I wonder where this road goes. I was like, you want to see where this road goes? He's like, sure. And not been able to find it since. It was right, and I remember when it was. It was right before you get to turn off the Short Creek. Is right before that, but now it's a completely different road. It's weird. Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah, that is a strange one.
Yeah.
I listened to a book yesterday and today, and I don't know how I've never heard of it, but it's called Neuromancer.
Mm-hmm.
I had, like I said, released back in the 80s, I think 83, 4, something like that. And the actual tie-ins and stuff, when y'all started talking about the Matrix, I thought about that because, you know, he's like the main character's like a data thief in the Matrix. But the way that it handled artificial intelligence and stuff is so relevant right now, you know, of AI taking over and being cognizant and making decisions and stuff like that. It was crazy.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird all that stuff. But Somerset, I really think somebody should dive into that
Mm-hmm.
because there's a graveyard on the same road, same little stretch of road that's supposedly one of the most haunted graveyards around. I'm trying to find it. I actually filmed there in one of the episodes. We talked about it. I can't remember.
Now, is that the two cemeteries? The cemeteries that are close together?
No, that's my family cemetery up
Okay.
on in Leslie County. That one, yeah, that's not scary at all. It just looks weird. One side is completely bare and like dirt and rock, and the other side is like covered in moss, and the other graveyard is covered in moss, and they're like directly side by side, pretty much.
Yeah.
I can't remember the damn name of that graveyard. Totally would know instantly because he's the one that made me go to it.
Is that the disappearing graveyard?
No. This one's pretty standard. It's a bunch of broken stones and stuff that people's went out there and did stuff to, but it's supposedly really haunted or whatever. But we went in the daytime.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that one now with all the broken headstones. Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the graveyard. Well, Souls maybe? Souls Chapel. Yeah, Souls Chapel.
That sounds like it could be it.
Chapel. Lasky County. Was that one that I did? Yeah, Souls Chapel Cemetery. That's it. Yeah. Boom, I'm smart.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I remember seeing the broken headstones, and none of us were real happy about that.
No. The wife and I, we went there not too long ago. Somebody's taking care of it. It seems like they repaired a couple, and so hopefully they'll get it back to its pristine. Now you can't go there at night anymore because that's what was happening. A bunch of kids were going out there ghost hunting and just started breaking stones.
Really?
Do you really, Crystal? If we ever start doing folk and weird again, I like to go there and record, and we'll do an episode on that. The folk and weird was fun. It got me out of the house.
Yeah. I enjoyed those.
Yeah. Let's see.
Hey, it's getting cooler in another month or so. So,
Yeah, it's been too hot to do that this year.
oh God, it's been too hot to breathe.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was none too cool the other day when I sent y'all a picture. 106.
Mhm. You know, and at that particular point, it was only 97 here. So
Wow.
we had
I'm
a cool
looking.
front come through.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if Landa would have. I don't know if Landa got the same temperature we got that day or not. It was.
Mhm.
We've had some,
I'm
100,
looking at
100.
I'm looking at our episodes from Folk and Word right now. Steven's, whenever you were out in the woods, has the most 1.6.
Awesome.
Really?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, was that on the foggy day?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Broke
Landa.
your
I sent them a
record.
picture of we were 106 the other day. I sent them a picture of it.
Nice.
So
Mhm.
yeah, it was nice and
Yeah.
toasty.
Yeah.
I would. I don't know. I'm not about that life. I'm not. No, I don't want nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that.
Yeah, that's the bad thing. That'd be the bad thing if you moved anywhere down here between me and Landa. It's you have a snow. Mm.
Now Stephen needs a snow cone machine.
I
Yeah,
will
I
never
do.
have one. But anyway.
I would give myself a brain freeze daily if I had a snow cone machine.
I want an ice cream machine, but Mandy says I don't need one. So
You could tell her you can make frozen yogurt.
sure, that's what I'll do with it.
That's
I've got a real will problem with certain things. Ice cream being one of them. If I've got a gallon of ice cream in there, it's gone in 2 days.
oh yeah.
Another thing that I love more than I love
that would
more than
be good.
anything. Oh yeah, margaritas. One thing I love more than
Yeah,
anything is
I'd probably be able to take a really good nap.
at the dollar store you can buy these packs of chocolate covered almonds, pretzels, and peanuts for like $1.25. So I buy like 6, 2 of each, and then I mix them into a bowl.
Mhm.
Like a little trail mix, and sometimes I'll throw a little honey roasted peanut in there. I'll eat every damn bit of that, and I'll sit and it should last like 2 weeks.
Tell you what, the
But
honey roasted mixed nuts, I like those.
I love those.
They're probably not good for you.
I don't like peanuts.
I love peanuts.
I can't stand peanuts. Now give me cashews or pistachios or almonds, walnuts, but I do not like peanuts.
Brownies are good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
I like those Brazil nuts, but it's hard to find them. I mean,
Yeah.
that's one thing for our audio listener only people. I always wonder how like out of pocket we sound sometimes when we read comments and we just comment on it like out of nowhere. Like I just randomly said brownies are good, and you guys are talking about something completely different. We can
what you got in that brownie?
yeah. I'm like, brownie are good.
Yeah. You know, Crystal, I'm diabetic too, but every once in a while, I just say to hell with it and have a brownie.
Yeah.
You know,
You got
but
to.
now, to be fair, I also keep mine. I mean, I check my numbers every morning, every night, and 99% of the time I'm dead on. But
My darling wife is a diabetic, and I can't remember last time she's checked hers.
mhm.
You should probably check that.
Yeah, tell her you'll check your blood pressure if she checks her blood sugar.
Yeah.
See, I have to check both of them. That's the reason I think I sent you a copy of my tracker
Yeah,
recently.
you did.
Yeah. So
I appreciate that, but that sweet ass machine that she bought that night I thought I was dying, tracks it automatically.
mine does too,
Really?
but I wanted averages. And it doesn't check my sugar.
This one does averages.
Does it?
Yeah, and
no, mine does not.
I can print off a report, and I can print it off in Excel form. It's dope
Oh,
as
okay,
hell.
cool.
Yeah.
And they
Okay.
make
Yeah.
we're not sponsored by them, but they make all kinds of stuff. They make a scale that goes to that same app. They make a AFib machine that will report to that. All kinds of cool stuff. It's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what, there's some of the sugar-free sweets that are available now.
hmm
Honestly, it's hard to tell the difference in between the sugar-free and the old
It
stuff
is.
with the sugar in it.
It
It's
really is.
I was really surprised by that.
Yeah.
A while
There's
back.
some there's a mix you can buy at Walmart. We used to get it whenever we was doing like low carb stuff, but it didn't have it didn't have sugar in it. And I can't remember what it's called, but it's brownie. It was like low to no sugar. It was
Mhm.
really good. I can't remember. It was
Yeah.
a Pillsbury brand.
They've come a long way. They have. The same thing with gluten-free stuff. I remember when I first stopped using gluten. Oh my God, it was hard finding anything without ordering. I mean, it still costs you a fortune. It's ridiculous to
Yeah.
be healthy. I had somebody tell me one time, "Oh, it doesn't take anything to be healthy." Have you gone grocery shopping, dude? Yes, it does. That's the reason we have an obesity problem in this country, is because it's a hell of a lot cheaper to go to McDonald's than it is to go get a salad.
Yeah.
So
And now you gotta worry about dying from the explosive diarrhea if you
yes,
eat salad.
or the
It's
salmonella.
nuts. Yeah.
There's that going around this week.
Things that you used to only get from eating raw chicken, you get from eating lettuce now. It's friggin'
Right.
nuts. I don't get
Yeah.
it. It's insane.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I'm gonna tell you what though, with these millions of eggs that have been recalled, I have never been happier that I have chickens.
Wait. Is that why eggs are so cheap right now? Because I went to Walmart yesterday and I was like, holy shit, these eggs are cheap as hell.
I did not see that, Landa, but I need to go back and catch a couple of the ones I missed.
The banana nut bread that I made yesterday ended up being dope. It tasted really good. It's
Good.
not.
It looked
it's not,
good.
It's not sugar free.
No.
It's really good. First one I ever made.
Uh-huh. Like I said, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it turned out pretty.
hmm And
Oh.
presentation matters. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, it's solid. And I kind of winged it. Like I looked at a recipe, and I was like, that don't sound right. So I just kind of did my own thing with it.
Mhm.
Turned out good.
Hey, that's I at one point, you have like Hello Fresh and all these different meal kits. At one point, I've tried every one of them because it was just me and Mo, and I'm like, okay, that way, I'm getting just what I need and everything. And at one point, I did not have to pay for a meal kit for like just a year, because
Nice.
if I gave you a free box, I got a free box too. And I had everybody in my office getting meal kits. So, I was getting free boxes left and right. Well,
Nice.
one of the girls that I worked with was not really much of a cook. And so that's why she wanted to try them. She goes, hey, it has instructions and everything's pre-measured. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So it's like the first time she came in and goes, did you know you could cut carrots on a diagonal? And I'm like, yeah, I did, but that was so exciting to her. But she had something that she had made. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, she's like, it was okay, but it wasn't great. I'm like, oh, well, you need to do this, 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 and this. And she goes, how do normal people know that? And I'm like, I'm sorry. That's how I cook. There are very few things that I use a recipe for more than once.
I'm not a cook. I'm not good at it at all. Like I can make things that are good, but I can only make those things. Like burgers, I'm pretty good at. Everybody is. Ribs, I got a good rib recipe. I don't smoke them, I bake them. So your traditional smokers like Tully and Steven are like, you bake them.
Hey, Hey, nothing wrong with baking a rib. I've done it myself. Dry rub works great in the oven.
Yeah. And I make a good pizza.
Mhm.
But yeah.
No, I actually, I mean, I'm a decent cook, but I'm also very adventurous. You know, my family has been very good sports over the years because I went through an international cooking phase at one point. Every 2 weeks, they were getting a new culture, you know?
Now,
So,
now my fried chicken,
mhm,
I don't care what anybody says. I think my fried chicken is the best fried
mhm.
chicken. It's my granny's recipe, and it is delicious. But I don't get to make it much anymore because we don't eat much fried food
Mm-mm.
anymore.
No, I guarantee fried chicken on New Year's Day
Well, no,
because I hate frying chicken.
I love it. It's so
Uh,
fun.
yeah. I remember the first time Mo, he called me, and you know, I grew up, you fried chicken in an iron skillet, period, full
Yeah.
stop. And he called me at work one day. He goes, I want fried chicken. I'm like, okay, I don't know if I'll have time tonight. He goes, no, I've already got the chicken. It's thawed out. I just need to know, what do I need to do? And I'm like, okay, you're going to fry chicken. He goes, yes. I'm like, okay, we had one of those like fry daddies. I'm like,
Yeah.
why don't you cook it in that? And he goes, no. It has to be an iron skillet. You've always said it has to be an iron skillet. I'm like, okay, listen to me. You can use the iron skillet, but you've got to cook it slow because if that chicken's raw on the inside, you know, and I'm explaining it to him. I came home. That was the prettiest fried chicken I'd ever seen in my
Nice.
life, all the way to the bone. Took one bite and it was so salty you could not eat it. And I'm like, oh, he goes, but I didn't put any salt in it. And I'm like, show me what you put in it. Tony Casheries, you know, all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, let me show you what sodium is. And I started flipping bottles over. I'm like, yeah, all that sodium is salt. And he goes, I had no idea. And I'm like, lesson learned. And he makes beautiful chicken now. I mean, he does. But I'm like, oh, he was so heartbroken because it was perfect. I mean, it was juicy, but it was done. And I'm like, you know, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed for your first time. And
I
then
do like slow cooking it, but I'm guilty of using when we had one, I would use the deep fryer. I
yeah.
would.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's easy,
Yeah.
you know.
When it's
But
floating, it's done.
that's right. That's exactly right. Chicken fried steak. Oh my gosh.
I can't make it. I can't make a steak. I am not good at making steaks. Mandy is awesome at it. I cannot make a good steak. Cannot. They're gray.
Yeah.
They're gray and somehow burnt in the middle. Like I just cannot do it. I'm not good at all. I never have been good at making steak. I don't know
Okay.
why.
How do you like your steak?
Medium rare. I do like it medium rare, but I cannot make medium rare steaks.
I have my baby brother. If there is a sliver of pink, he's done. He wants a steak well done. But I'm going to give him credit, and I would not give many people this much credit. I've never seen anybody else that can cook a steak well done and it not be dry. But he sits there and he babies it the entire time. I mean, we've cooked steaks. I pull everybody's off and say, okay, you can finish yours up because I'm going to go eat mine, you know, while it's still at a good temperature because I like medium rare too. But
Now,
he wants it done.
Now buying steaks now is something that it's a specialty now.
Mm-hmm.
There was a point in time where it was like, hey, we'll have us 2 steaks this week, you know?
Yeah.
But now it's like, let's get a steak. Like, we ain't had steak in 6 months. Let's get one. We saved enough.
That's it.
Enough. But
yeah.
But Mandy's phenomenal. Now I was the same way before Mandy and I got together, and she cooked me a steak. I would only eat well done steaks. But then she made me one, and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever had. One of the best things.
Like,
and so
if they're cooked right, you don't need it. You don't need steak sauce. You don't need any of that. And that's what my biggest thing with him is he would eat medium well. But before he ever took a bite of it, he drowned it in Heinz 57 sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was me. That was me. That's exactly what I used to
just-
do. I'd burn the shit out of it, and then I'd cover it in A1.
Oh my God. No. And now
Yeah.
he eats it too raw for me. That's how far we've come, because I want mine just past the raw stage. It can still be blood red, but I don't want there to be raw. He doesn't care. You can throw his on there, sear it on each side, and take it off, and he's good to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before
That's the
Mandy
thing
and I
about
got together. Yeah. Before Mandy and I got together, I lived off chicken and pizza and French fries my whole life. In different forms, of course. Chicken nuggets. Chicken strips.
That was one of my things that my daughter used to get so upset about because I cooked. When my kids were little, I mean, we ate out some, but for the most part, I cooked pretty much every night. And her big thing was, I want McDonald's, or I want this, or I want that. Well, that's not what I'm cooking. I'm cooking this. But then all of her friends wanted to come to our house to eat, because I cooked. And I'm like, it's a typical of any teenager. You want what everybody else has. So, like I said, all of her friends wanted to come to our house to eat. And then she wanted to go to their house because they had Tyson chicken nuggets or McDonald's or stuff like that. And, it was the same way my mom cooked. The only time we ate out when I was growing up is when Daddy had a ball tournament out of town. Otherwise, Mama cooked.
One thing I am jealous of is Steven and Tully. Their ability to make stuff outside on grills and smokers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a smoker, and the only thing I've ever made on it was a brisket, and I ruined it. And I said I'm never making another damn thing on anything like that.
You're gonna make a few bad. You're gonna make a few bad ones before you figure it out. And honestly, if you like your steak cooked over charcoal, I mean, just go buy the little cheap offset at Academy or something like that, and you can just put it in the smoker part. If you get one that has the grates and the firebox, you can take the steak up to about 125 in the smoker part, then put it directly over the coals and get a sear on it.
Yeah.
And then you got the steak rest. You put some Kerrygold butter on it and put an aluminum foil tint over the top of the steak. When the butter's melted, you're ready to eat it. And you don't need any sauce.
Nice. Now, we have a true white trash grill. It's one of those little like $74 ones from Walmart, charcoal grill.
Yeah.
One of the best steaks I've had. Mandy made it on that damn thing. Like she's so good at that. Like it's weird. It's strange.
Yeah. With those kind of smokers there, just put your charcoal on one side and put your steak on the opposite side where there's less heat, and let it kind of come on up to close to the temp. And when you get ready to get it seared, put it directly over your coals.
Nice.
Yeah. I remember my dad bought Mo his first smoker, and they decided that they were going to smoke fish.
Oh my.
It was horrible. And thankfully that was the only time they ever put fish on the smoker. It was terrible. It was like jerky. I mean, they didn't do the research, and they didn't have the internet, so it was bad.
The only fish I like is catfish and cod. Like
it was catfish.
I can't eat like salmon and stuff like that. Like,
I'm not real crazy about that either. I mean, tilapia or the whitefish, those are both good baked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like tilapia. I love trout. Trout's one of my favorites.
Now this is I probably wouldn't like trout. I don't know. Never had it, but there is a place down toward Gatlinburg in Sevier County. Where I don't know I hope it's still open because I really want to do it, but you pay to fish and you catch your own trout. What up, Wolfman? And you catch your own trout, and then they cook it for you, and you can pick how they cook it. I want to do that so bad. It's called Mount. What is it called? Damn, I'll find it. I've got it saved.
Landa, I used to write papers for a guy that was in college, and for me writing his papers, he paid me in flounder.
Wow.
It worked out beautifully because he would go every night. That's what he did. He'd go fishing every night. And when he was in college, it was during flounder season, and he'd be like, "Okay, so what do I owe you?" And I'm like, "You got any flounder?" And he goes, "I just went and got some." And I'm like, "Trade me some flounder." Every time I write you a paper. He also brought me wild hog a couple of times. So
I'm gonna see if I can pull up a TikTok of this, and we'll probably end on this. This is really cool. I don't know if any of you've ever done this or not, but I really want to do this. Let me see if I can find this damn thing on here. Come on now. Totally had to download something to be able to full screen
TikTok videos.
I'm not downloaded it, so you're just gonna have to bear with me on it. I'm not gonna play sound because this got a Dolly Parton song. I don't want to get us flagged for that. But entire screen. Sheer. All right. So this got no sound. This is just what it looks like. This is a little pond. You catch your own.
English Mountain Trout Farm.
Yeah, you catch your own fish.
Awesome.
And then it's called the English Mountain Trout Farm. English Mountain Trout Farm. And when you catch your own fish, you take it and you get it cooked. They cook it, they cut it up and everything, and cook it for you. If I can find a damn thing. Well, I guess this is a shitty video. But let's see. There's all kinds of them. It's cool how they do it. Like, it's in Sevierville. That's where Gatlinburg and everything is. They got all these trout, and you just fish it out there, and then you take it over to them, and they gut it and all that good jazz, and make it for you. You get a little menu on how you want it cooked. And then
awesome.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think you'd like trout. It does not have a real strong fishy flavor.
Yeah. I'm trying to remove the video. What the? Oh, I keep removing Steven. My bad.
You're fine. You're fine.
One of these days, I want to get the money to go down there and do that.
Yeah. You should. You should.
And they got a gem mine right next to it.
Ooh. Even better. See, that's my thing.
But anyway, I've got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, so we'll call it. Unless you guys want to cover another story or something.
No, that's good. It's been a good talk.
Absolutely. Yep. So thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next Friday, same time, same place. Probably another Fringe Friday. And if you're new to us, go ahead and hit like and subscribe and come along and join in on the conversation here in the chat. And thank you all for watching us, because we are watching you.
Whoa!